1.
Hello and welcome to another Friday at 4:20 on Tuesday at 4:40. Man, it is so hard to keep up with what the hell we're doing. You know what? The problem is the name of the show. That's really the problem.
That's what it
is.
It
used to air on the radio on Fridays at 4:20, which is where the name came from. But since we're not on the radio anymore because one of us lost their job, now it's just, way to go, Manolis. Now it's, anyway, you get the idea. You're here. That's all that matters because we have a great special guest and we are going to have a lot of fun for the next 40 minutes on this Tuesday at 4:40. So thank you so much for dropping in. Don't forget, you can check out previous editions of the show on any of the streaming services. You can always go and look up Friday at 4:20 and they are all there. Some 16,832 of them, including one that we've done with this special guest before, which you can go back and check out after we have a little bit of fun here this afternoon. First, I got to introduce the panel as we always do. So let's start with my mentor, my life coach, and my health guru, Mr. Patrick Coppolino.
Buongiorno.
How are you, Patrick?
I'm good. Very good.
Excellent. By the way, that last health tip you gave me when we were talking earlier in the week, and you said, spicy, cheesy, crunchy Doritos is the health food of the future. I was surprised. I couldn't find anything on Google that says it's healthy for you, but I'll go with you.
It burns when you poo, though, right?
That's always.
That's how you know it's working.
You know what I actually had the other day was Miss Vicky's spicy dill. Have you had the Miss Vicky's spicy dill?
I like Miss Vicky's chips. I never had those ones.
She's pretty hot, actually.
The spicy dill are spicy.
Spicy dill is where it's at.
Guys, spicy dill is spicy. I really enjoyed those. Please say hello to our good friend, Mr. Manolis Zontanos. How are you, Manolis?
I'm going through transition. My fridge stopped working 2 days ago, so.
That's not usually what a transition is when people come out. But okay. We'll go with the fridge.
Did I use the word wrong? I'm transitioning to a new fridge.
Supposedly, it's just like, I'm going through a transition. When somebody says that, it usually means a lot more than a fridge change.
Well, I got to figure out how to get the fuck a fridge out of a house, first of all.
Well, you just push it out the door, man.
I know. But everybody I know is lazy. Look what, I'm going to ask Patrick to help me. He's got a broken arm. Even if his arm wasn't broken, he wouldn't be able to help me.
I have a pickup truck. How have you not called me?
You would really help me, Mike.
I would.
All right.
Absolutely.
I'll fucking call you.
You know
dude.
what? I've always had a pickup truck. I have helped more people move items, move their entire life. Over the years, I know how to get a fridge in and out of a house like lickety split, no problem at all, buddy. I'd be happy to help you.
All right, done.
All right,
thank you.
I'm available. I'm pretty sure
Never.
sometime in December. I might have a day, so I'll let you know.
there it is.
Hey, what do you say we welcome our very special guest to this Friday at 4:20? You know him, you love him, we do too. It's Mr. Brian Melo. How are you, Brian?
Hey guys, how are you?
We are awesome, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. I just got into the old podcasting game a few months ago too, so trying to hold my weight there. But just keeping busy doing music.
So what drew you to podcasting? Was it the awesome experience that you had with us when you were on our show?
I think it was. Manolis has been my hero, so I'm just trying to follow his footsteps. The
podcast is called Beyond the Melody.
Yeah.
So you got a few episodes already out there?
Well, actually, this episode that's coming out tomorrow is with our man Manolis.
Yeah.
And I think this is 23 or 24.
Oh wow.
So I put one out a week, and originally I have a music mentoring program as well. So I was trying to get a little creative with creating content and putting stuff out there. But I've always just been a curious person. My brother would joke with me that I was just the why kid. I'd just say why about everything. So I've always been curious and just sort of dove in and just wanted to sit back and talk to people that I love and respect, and it's been a lot of fun.
So you're kind of you find somebody that you're kind of interested in their creative process, who they are, what they do, how they do it, where they get their inspiration and stuff, and then you just pick at their brain a little bit, eh?
Yeah, a little bit, and just trying to keep it casual, but talking to a lot of musicians, anyone that's really realized a dream of theirs, and
Right.
and how they've gotten there. I think I mean, everybody has a story, and it's just been fun to connect with people and hear where their inspiration comes from.
So Beyond the Melody is the name of the podcast. We encourage you after this is over to look it up, maybe listen to some of the previous episodes. Tomorrow, it's the episode with our good friend Manolis Zontanos, which I don't want, not much of a brain to pick there, brother.
Bro, we did like 2 hours.
Longest, I'll say this. The
No
longest,
way.
yeah, the longest episode I've ever done was with Manolis,
I'm gonna say the most I've ever cried in front of another man was probably
Yeah.
with Brian.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's awesome.
We talked about my dad. Go ahead, Brian.
Oh,
Yeah. No,
okay.
we did, and I mean that's something about Manolis. Like he's willing to talk about his pain and to share his story, and I'm sure when people listen to the pod, it's really going to be touching, So it was a raw conversation, right, Manolis? It was.
Yeah, it was really raw. I was definitely like we were saying. I think it was that I go from one week I feel like everything's fine, and then the next week I feel like my dad just died again, like the other day. Or it's like, and I was going through I was very fragile. I think I was very fragile that day for some reason, man. Maybe the drugs were wearing off. I don't know, but it was definitely made a good podcast.
Also
Yeah.
because he's in the middle of transitioning. So I
Yeah.
mean, there's
Yeah.
that's a whole extra layer going on there. So there was a lot to break down. I'm sure
I know we
about
didn't even get to the fridge. I'm a little upset we didn't get to the fridge.
Wasn't broken yet, dude.
Well, we got to get to our game. It is Friday at 4:20, and it wouldn't be the same if we didn't have 12 random topics and 12 envelopes that I stole from my former employer. So let's begin. These have all been shuffled. They're in a random order. Number 5 is actually going to be Brian Melo's first topic on this Friday at 4:20. Brian, I want you to tell me about your worst experience at the dentist.
Oh,
Worst experience you've ever had at the dentist.
oh man, I know it like yesterday. It
It always is for everybody.
Right, yeah.
Because it was painful.
It was painful. It was when I was getting my molars out, and they were trying to put the gas on me to like knock me out. And can you swear here?
Yeah.
Yes.
You can swear? Yeah.
Yes.
And
Not on the radio anymore.
And I fucking panicked. Like I was like I was claustrophobic. I didn't like the feeling. So I was like, no, man. I was like, just give me the needles.
Oh,
Right?
wow. That's
So
brave.
Yeah. So I stayed awake for it, and he gave me all these needles. Whatever, it was fine. And he went through 2 or 3 of the molars fine, and then the last one was just this stubborn son of a bitch. And he's like literally leveraging himself on the chair, putting his leg on the chair, just ripping at my face while I'm awake. And I was like, oh my God, what the hell's happening? Right. And then finally he took it out. But I just remember that feeling of him just like yanking on that last tooth. And I was like, okay, fuck this. I don't want
This
to go to
is
the dentist.
insane.
That's amazing.
How old would you have been, Brian?
21, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Old enough to punch him.
Yeah, old enough
Yeah.
to still cry too. Jesus Christ. That's what I was saying.
Cried more than Manolis.
Well, you know
during
what?
the
My
podcast.
my sister was the dental assistant manager. So
Okay.
I would go there, and I would at that point my teeth were immaculate, because every time there was like a canceled appointment, my sister would call me to go. So I was going to the dentist like 5-6 times a year because of canceled appointments, right? So the dentist was a bit of a, he was a family friend at that point, but I definitely wasn't impressed with him that day.
That is crazy, eh?
Yeah.
Now, were they molars or was that your wisdom teeth?
Shit, you're right. Wisdom teeth. My wisdom
Okay,
teeth.
that's cool,
Sorry.
man. Because if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
were getting your molars pulled, your teeth were not immaculate, my friend.
Yeah. Sorry. My bad. My wisdom.
No,
teeth.
that's cool.
My
Yeah,
wisdom
wisdom teeth. A lot of people have their nightmare story was their wisdom teeth. The wisdom teeth, sometimes they become impacted and stuff. But that's fascinating. I don't know anybody, and my kids, when they had them done, were knocked out. I was knocked out when mine were done. But to live through that and be awake is like, wow.
It wasn't, like I said, the first 3 weren't bad, because they were growing in pretty straight.
Okay.
So they weren't bad, but it was just that last stubborn. There's always the last one, that last stubborn tooth. Right?
All right, Manolis, what about your worst experience at the dentist office?
I would say the most awkward experience for me was so I go to see my dentist, and by the end of it, my dentist goes, "There's a little mark on your tongue, and we're worried it might be cancer. So we're gonna have you come back in a month, and we're gonna look at it, make sure it's gone." And I go, and I wanted to say, like, I just did some mushrooms that weekend, and I think you know when you were like really tripping on mushrooms, your jaw gets all wonky. Your jaw's like, you know, it's like right. And I think I bit my tongue, and it was a nick from the biting my tongue on mushrooms. So I'm like, so I just didn't say anything. I'm like, oh, okay. And I came back a month later, and he goes, oh, it's nothing. And I go to the dentist. I go, yeah, man, I was going to tell you last time I was here, but I think because last time I just did a bunch of mushrooms, and I was tripping, and my jaw was just wonky, and I think I chomped on my tongue, and that's why it was like that nick was there. I should have told you. And he goes like this. He goes, and you know when you do something, when you say something, you realize like, oh, this person's not like me.
Yeah.
This is like he goes like, hey, you think I just told him I did heroin or something, right? He goes like this. He goes, oh, okay, all right. Well, I guess we'll just put that in your chart then. I'm like, all right, okay, dude.
Did a bunch of mushrooms.
He was so, dude, I'd never seen a dentist like so uncomfortable before, and it just made me, and I'm trying everything not to laugh, and it made me so happy. This guy is like,
you were literally the only patient who ever told him they did mushrooms. I'm sure you're not the only patient who did them, but nobody tells people.
But like, yeah, I'm like trying to like make him feel better. I'm like, yeah, I should. I'm an idiot. I should have told you I did mushrooms before, and I chomped on my tongue when I was tripping balls, and that's why there was that little nick that you thought was cancer. I wasted your time. And I'm sorry. And you're like, why did you just tell me the story? And I could tell he definitely didn't feel. He felt he couldn't wait for me to leave. I'll tell you that.
All right, Patrick Coppolino, you get the last shot at this one. The topic on this Friday at 4:20 for Patrick Coppolino. Worst experience at the dentist office on mushrooms. Go.
Well, I should start by saying I can't even remember the last time I went to the dentist. To be
Oh,
honest.
wow.
I think it was when I got my wisdom teeth removed.
That was the 80s, dude.
I was like 17 or 18 maybe.
Do you not like the dentist, or you don't have coverage?
Well, yeah, my dad was a foreman for the city, so we were covered until I finished college. So, so as soon as that ended, no more dentist for me.
You don't even floss, do you?
Sometimes
he does not floss, Mike. Look at him.
But what I remember when we were kids, so we always went to the dentist office at Limeridge Mall, and me and my sister actually got spoiled because like the one dentist there was he was like the Mr. Rogers of dentists. Like he was so friendly, and he was always like so gentle to the point where like I'm not even sure he was doing anything, because he was just like, you know when they like check your teeth with that pointy thing and they like tap your teeth and stuff,
yeah,
they scrape it, he would just like, you could just barely feel him gently like touch your teeth, and he's like very calm and like okay good, and he's very nice, and he always left like not being painful or anything, but the odd time he wouldn't be there, and there was this other guy who was like the complete opposite. Like it was literally like the good and evil of dentists, and this guy, he was like a movie villain. When he walked in the room, just like the vibe changed, and he was so aggressive and mean, and he didn't care, and I always was bleeding because he scrapes, and like me and my sister hated going, to the point where my mom would have to like ask to like make sure that guy wasn't there.
He walks in the room, there's smoke.
So yeah, I can't think of one particular, but every time I think his name was Dr. Scott.
Evil.
When Dr. Scott,
Dr. Death.
When Dr. Scott was there, every time was the
fuck
worst
that
time.
guy.
Oh, I'm still back at you going to a dentist at Limeridge Mall. That just seems weird in and of
It was
itself.
It was a nice.
Yeah,
dentist.
in the
I
food
think
court.
It's still
Was he
there.
in the food court there? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in the middle of the food court.
It was in the parking lot in his van. But
This is Friday at 4:20. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Brian Melo, our very special guest on this edition of the show. This is our new topic. It's topic number 10 for those keeping track at home, and I'm sure there are many. This one, we're going to go to Manolis first. And this is our full healthcare edition of Friday at 420 because this another healthcare question. Manoli, when the doctor says to you, how many drinks a week do you consume? What is your answer?
Oh, I think I try to tell I tell him I binge. I tell him I'm like I don't get drunk. I just
Totally be honest. I know you're veto.
Yeah, I just like if I get drunk on a Friday or a Saturday, I pretty well get drunk on a Friday, Saturday, and Wednesdays, and I tell him that. And I'm like, because there's amateur night on Wednesday. I go to, but I just bitch. But like I just say I drink as much as possible, and I just try not to do cocaine because then I don't have a second shift of drinking. You know what I mean? That's where it really fucks you up. Drinking will regulate you. You know what I mean? Like it's time to go to bed. But if you do cocaine, then you'll go like, hey, we're doing a full second shift, boys. Let's go. You're like, and then you wake up like, what happened last night? So
I like the way that you present that answer to the doctor because it's like, yes, I binge drink 3 times a week, which is a significant amount of alcohol, but I don't do cocaine.
Yeah, I don't do cocaine,
like,
bro.
So the doctor's going, okay, I guess that's a win.
Well, he tries not to.
He tries not to.
I try. I mostly don't. Like, I mean, but
and I do mushrooms when I go to the dentist. Yeah.
But you know what? At least I'm honest. You know what I mean? That helps my health.
Brian Melo, when you step into the doctor's office, at some point they're going to ask you the question, how many drinks a week do you consume? What would be your answer, Mr. Melo?
Oh, man. I don't drink too much during the week, but I kind of ramp it up on the weekends sometimes.
A little bit like Manolis.
Yeah,
like a lot of us, right?
Yeah. So I'm a big football guy. So now in the Sundays, I can drop back a 12-pack pretty easy if I'm watching a couple games. So I don't know, man. I think I'll go like the 12
drinks a week.
Yeah. Maybe like around there.
12 drinks. You know what? It's okay because between Manolis and yourself, like if you're over 5 drinks a week, you're an alcoholic. So I'm just telling, yeah, we're all
really?
We're all a mess.
What?
Oh, yeah.
More than 5 a week?
What's Donnie?
Well, he just there's no cap to it. It's just anything over. So we're all in the same boat as Donnie. Patrick Coppolino, what's your answer? How many drinks a week, buddy?
I'm on like the same schedule as Manolis. We're at the club Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and every time, even if I go in and like I'm like especially Saturday because we've gone through Wednesday, recovered Thursday, Friday we drink again, and then by Saturday I'm like I'm gonna not drink tonight, and that never happens. So,
you know the problem.
So I don't know. My answer would be a lot. I couldn't even guess.
Here's a question for you guys: Manolis and Pat, do you guys like having a couple drinks before you hit the stage, or do you like kind of being just clear headed?
I usually like maybe one. Like I usually do like a quick shot, and then I'll grab a beer for the stage.
Yeah.
A couple sips of the beer before I go on, but yeah, I don't like being drunk on stage. That might happen if I'm hosting. As the show goes on, I'll be more drunk.
But you've already been up there sober.
But like if I'm just doing one set, then yeah, I won't. I usually prefer to be up sober.
Yeah,
Manolis,
a light buzz, like maybe a stiff drink but like I don't like being drunk. The mess that I am and Patrick is, I think too. Is the funny part is like when we do stand up, we're very like focused and responsible, and then when the show's done, it's like, oh right, we're allowed to get fucked up now, you know?
Yeah. What about when you're performing at a music venue there, Brian? What do you have a couple of? Do you like to have a drink before you go out, or are you kind of a couple of drinks during a show, or?
Yeah. I'm kind of similar to Pat. I like maybe a shot. Like I'll do like a shot of brandy or a shot of whiskey or something. But not like some of my buddies can drink pints and sing all night. Like I'll burp in the mic if I do that. Like I'll get too gassy and like dry out. But for me, I'll usually have like one or two, and kind of similar. Like if I'm doing like a 3-set night, and I might get a little loose with the crowd by that 3rd set, but for the most part, for the most part, I'll just have maybe a couple of shots. Just what Manolis said, a light little buzz to kind of.
You can get drunk with the audience, that's okay. But like, if you're too drunk before you go off, it's like,
it's like what's going on?
during the CNE, when the CNE used to be a big deal, and they used to have a place called the Carlsberg Pavilion. And so booked throughout the CNE, and this was for a number of years in a row, was Ronnie Hawkins. So Ronnie Hawkins was the house band for the Carlsberg Pavilion every night at the CNE. And much to Manolis's point, that's what, I mean, and this, so in between every single song, like Ronnie was like, everybody break, and then, but he would down a whole beer, and then he'd do a song, and then he'd down, like how he didn't just fall off the stage at some point.
It's crazy.
But he just kept going all night, and then we would see him up afterwards, and he'd be having beers up in the private after party area, and it's like wow, like just impressive, man.
Yeah, some people can just handle it, man.
Yeah.
I heard David Wilcox like would crush beers like on stage too.
I'm sure there's a lot of them who just went at it, right? All right, let's go. Another topic on Friday at 4:20. Brian Melo, our special guest, and we are. It's topic number 1 for Patrick Coppolino. I wonder what's in envelope number 1, Patrick. No, we're not going to go with that topic. I don't like.
I was going to say, I was just going to say, my favorite part of you write these topics and you open them and you're like, nah, that's not good.
Well, because we don't get to every envelope through a show, so sometimes I'll find an envelope and it'll be a topic from like 3 months ago or something. It'd be like, hey, what are your plans for this summer? And it's like, oh my god, no, that's a stupid topic. All right, you think if I really spent time on it, I would review the topics before.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't. So topic number, I replaced topic 1 with topic 3 because I am concerned about the people following along at home. Topic number 3, Patrick Coppolino, peanut butter, crunchy or smooth?
I don't eat a lot of peanut butter, but I think a few years ago I would have said smooth, but I've grown to appreciate the crunchy. I like a little crunch.
He has got all the bases covered. Don't really like it. I've enjoyed smooth in the past. Going with the crunchy now. There you go.
Yeah,
everybody, you should be a freaking politician. Your answers cover everybody. Not in favor of the death penalty. Have seen it a few times when I enjoyed what they did there. So I'm kind of halfway in between. That's a politician answer, man.
Yeah.
All right, Manoli.
I have an issue with peanut butter.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, here we go.
Just
you know what it is? Hey, listen.
No, you bring it. You bring your issue.
You ask the question, I'll give it to you. All right. My problem is, as a child, and Mike, you remember this. It was one of my favorite commercials, but I also just analyzed it too much. Was the Reese's Pieces peanut butter cups or whatever?
Yeah.
It's like the two guys. Brian, you're probably too young for this commercial, but 2 guys were walking down the street. One guy with a chocolate bar, another guy with an open jar of peanut butter, eating it with like a fucking spoon, walking down New York City streets. And these 2 guys bump into each other, and their chocolate swirls in the air and goes into the guy's peanut butter, and they fucking lose it. Your peanut butter's my chocolate, your chocolate's my peanut butter. And these 2 strangers decide to share this chocolate bar with molested, with peanut butter, and they're like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" And that's how Reese's Pieces was born.
Yeah,
right.
That was the original Reese's Pieces commercial.
Yeah, for like a decade.
Yeah, not Reese's Pieces. It's a Reese's peanut butter.
Reese's peanut butter cups. Yeah. Sorry.
So that commercial pissed you off so much that you never wanted peanut butter.
I love Reese's peanut butter cups. That's the thing. But I'm like, I just like,
I love them.
Yeah, I love them. But you're fucking liars. Like, fuck you. There's no way that happened.
Right.
No way.
Like, no way. It's like
nobody's walking through the streets of New York with an open jar of peanut butter. That's just bullshit.
Those 2 same guys actually started Apple Computers. I don't know. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
Manolis spends a lot of time going down rabbit holes on YouTube for conspiracy theories that really are meaningless.
My nephew is allergic to peanut butter. I love peanut butter. I love peanut butter with like bananas on it. Like I heard Elvis did that. It's like I started trying it. It's fucking delicious, man.
I made the Elvis Presley sandwich once. I actually fried it up and did it and stuff.
Oh, I didn't fry it. You can fry it.
Oh, yeah.
You do like a grilled chease. So
yeah.
So you butter.
That's how Elvis liked them.
Then you put the peanut butter and the banana, and rock and roll. But it's great, but it's rich. It's so rich.
Oh, I didn't know there was another step.
Oh, there's another step.
There's always another step.
Yeah.
Yeah. Manoli, despite your answer being excellent, you didn't actually answer the question.
What was the question?
The question was crunchy or smooth.
Smooth, buddy, smooth. You know what the problem? My mom really gave up. By the time I got to high school, I still wasn't making my own lunch, and my mom gave up on me at the same time. And she would still make my lunch, but she just didn't care. She was like a sad housewife that just didn't love her life, and she would like make my sandwiches, and she just put a clump of peanut butter in the middle of the bread. It was just all peanut butter in the middle, and then an apple. So like I'd be like eating this sandwich at school, in high school, and like it'd be stuck in my throat because it's like too much. I'm like, and then I'd have no water, so I'd use the apple to like wash down the peanut butter.
Because you didn't have a drink.
I know. I didn't have a fruit box. I couldn't put a straw in an apple. Fucking.
You just said high school, didn't you? Your mom's making you sandwiches, and you didn't have your fruit box.
Yeah.
You're like in grade 12.
I gave
Mommy
up.
didn't pack my fruit box.
Yes. Well, there was no fruit boxes back then, but yeah.
Didn't you have a cafeteria in high school?
Yeah. My parents were giving me money. They're European.
You can get a job in high school.
Dude, there's no way I was going to spend money on food every day when I could have used drugs.
Manoli with the peanut butter glob sandwich and the juice box in high school. No wonder you got picked on, bro.
Yeah, like if you should have saved the high school thing till the end, because I was picturing you like as like an 8-year-old the whole time.
No, he was wearing his David Lee Roth pants.
Dude, here's the part. I was in grade 11. Yeah. It was brutal, man.
Let's not forget, by the time he got to grade 11, he'd already been held back 4 years. So he really was 19.
He was like 23.
23 years at the juice.
Yeah, I was like 32 in grade 12, man. I was fucking awesome.
You still are, pal. Still are. Brian Melo, now that we've just obliterated this topic, it's up to you. Peanut butter, crunchy, or
smooth all day. Yeah.
You don't like the crunchy?
I mean, I'll have it, but
not the choice.
But if I'm choosing, I'm going smooth.
And what inspired you to try the Elvis Presley sandwich? Was it just that if it was good enough for the king of rock and roll, we got to try this, man?
Smoked a joint with a buddy.
You start talking?
Yeah, I got the munchies, and
hey, Elvis
found the recipe on YouTube, and all of a sudden we're making sandwiches. So
that's awesome, because one of the great drunk and or stoned foods is the grilled cheese.
Yes,
hands down.
I mean, that takes care of all your problems.
Right.
Listen, Brian, great news for fans of Brian Melo. He's back in the studio recording some music. And I believe you had said to me that that you're working on releasing 3 singles.
Right now. I mean, that's kind of how the world works and how they receive music right now, So I'm going to be releasing, I'll be releasing kind of single by single, but in the meantime, I'll be back in the studio recording more music. And, I've been away for a while, doing my stuff with the group that I had in Nashville and stuff. So now that I'm back and I've been writing a ton of music, I want to make sure that I'm around for a bit. So there'll definitely be a lot of new music coming out. And
that's very cool. And we're looking for that probably in the new year.
Yeah, I'd say the new year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you give us a title? I don't want anything else, just a title of a song. Give us a title of a song you're working on.
There's one song that I'm working on called Chasing Arrows, and it might potentially be the album title, but I'm not sure. But basically, just there's how we are, we're always chasing something, and you never seem to arrive. So I felt that way sometimes in relationships in my career and stuff. So yeah, that's definitely one of the other tunes that are.
That's very cool. Well, we very much look forward to that. Don't forget, Brian also has a cool podcast called Beyond the Melody. Tomorrow's edition that will be released features our own Manolis Zontanos, who cries openly during the podcast. So listen, I'm tuning in for that. I don't normally. I mean, Manolis does a lot of stuff. I don't usually pay that much attention to it. This one, I'm all over it, man.
Yeah, you got to. It was actually really great. I
awesome.
Loved it. Yeah.
Let's go with our new topic. This is topic number 2. I think we're back to you, Brian. From peanut butter to the macabre. Here we go. Do you have plans for when you die? Would you rather be buried or cremated? Have you ever thought about it?
Yeah, it's expensive to die. So it's like
super expensive.
So it's like, I mean, if I'm going my old school European way,
Yep.
then you be buried.
Yep.
Right? But also, I don't know. There's something about just being cremated. And
Super easy.
Get it done with, and
I think that's certainly the way a lot of people have leaned, right? Because it's the least expensive way.
Yeah.
But it isn't. I always find it an interesting question, only because
Yeah.
I'm a buried guy. I don't care. Like, it's not that I want you to spend a lot of money on me. I mean, you just put me in a hole in the ground.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be cremated. So
Yeah,
that's
I
why the
get
question
it.
always sort of pops into my head, and why I ask the question. I just find it kind of fascinating that a lot of people are cool with the idea of being burned.
Yeah, I know. I mean, short answer, I'd say buried.
Okay.
I'll probably do that, but yeah. Have you seen? I think it's in India, how they do it in the water, where they'll actually just
Where they float the
body and they'll
fire?
they'll light it on fire, and they'll
Yeah.
just like really that's pretty crazy to me too.
That's pretty.
Mhm.
That's
That's
pretty
better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It is quite a ceremony that they go through there.
Yeah.
Patrick Coppolino, what about you? Have you ever given it any thought? And is there a way that you think you'd prefer to go out?
Yeah, I'm actually not a fan of cremation because it's to me it seems so final, right? I mean, anytime I hear somebody's been cremated, I'm like, they're never coming back. Like if there's like a 0.1% chance some weird nuclear thing happens and zombies come back. I want to come back. I at least want a chance.
Give me a shot, man.
But yeah, being cremated just seems so final. But I also agree. It's also there is something nice about people being able to spread your ashes somewhere that you love to be, or I don't know. If I die before Manolis, I would get cremated if he agrees to snort me and see what happens as an experiment.
I honestly would try it.
Don't tell your dentist, Manolis. Don't tell your dentist.
Yeah,
about that.
You know what? It's funny if I could go back and just parse out your original answer, though, Patrick. It really was kind of like, if there's a chance I could be a zombie, I want that chance.
I want to be intact. Yeah.
That's a guy who plays too many video games.
And there's only there's a shelf life on that too, I guess, right? I can't come back as a zombie skeleton, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Manoli, have you given this any thought?
I've given it. Actually, I think about this all the time.
I know.
I'll tell you something. I'll tell you a couple things. One thing I'll tell you, I do agree with Patrick. I do not want to get cremated. I want to be able to be, like, in case the zombie thing happens, I want to be able to come out. But I will take it one step. I'm going to put in my will that I don't want to get buried. I want to get buried with no coffin, because I want to, if things change, I want to be able to get out of the ground really easy. I don't have to get through a fucking box to fucking come back to Earth. So no. I just want to be thrown into the ground,
like just with a thin layer of dirt above you.
Yeah, me. I just want to be. I want to be like at least like 2 inches underneath the surface. I want to feel people walking on me, so it just reminds me of life.
Right.
May have to look into the legality of that, buddy.
I see Pat and Manolis doing the Thriller dance, just popping out of their grave.
I will tell you this, and this is an amazing story. Okay, I made a will, Mike. I had to make a will because this house is in my name now, and I'm gonna get a mortgage, and I'm gonna give half the money to my brother, right? So I made a will in case I die before all that happens, so the whole house just goes to my brother, right? But Mace Galone loves my joke. I have this joke about why staplers are amazing, and they're my favorite thing in the world, and I explain why. And at the end of the joke, I say, I have to make a will because my stapler is going to last longer than me, so I have to figure out who's going to get my stapler after I die. So I actually emailed my lawyer 4 days ago because I just thought of it, and I got him to put in my will.
That's
I will show you that Mace Galone, I die, gets this stapler.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
So when I die, he has officially will get this stapler after I die. right here.
Imagine you
Look
get a
at
call
that.
from your lawyer. It's
Can
like,
you
Yeah, that's
imagine?
the best.
I emailed. I can show you the email next week. It's probably it'll take me forever
And
to find it.
Mace doesn't
That's
know,
brilliant.
right?
No, Mace doesn't know. Mace does not know. Mace does
It's
not. I'm
so
gonna.
funny
So
that it's a joke that you're never gonna get to see, like
Yeah.
his reaction to.
So when I get my will, I have to sign this will in like a couple weeks, I think. But when I get it, so I
that
get a
is
bunch of
awesome.
copies. So I'm gonna give Mace Scaloni a copy of my will because he's in it.
Right now, is it? Would it be too much? I don't know, like paperwork and cost and all that involved. Could we just pick things out of the background right now and have you will those to us as well?
Yeah.
We just,
Before you sign the paperwork, that'd be
yeah. Yeah, is there something there that we could, that
I'll
that
give her-
Lou
I'll-
Reed sign? Yeah, maybe Brian would like the Lou Reed. It's
I'll
cool,
give
Lou
I'll
Reed
give
song.
Yeah.
I'll give Brian all my albums right now. I'll say that.
Oh,
'cause
buddy.
Oh,
he would appreciate them more than you two.
this
for
is
sure.
we call this a living will. This is all being recorded for
It's recorded
posterity.
right now.
Yeah, it's recorded right
Neighbors, you can have my Lou Reed. You can have my Lou Reed post picture right there.
now. No, actually, I want any WKRP stuff you have,
Okay, you can have all my Debbie Care.
because I'm the only other guy. You and I are the only people who love WKRP.
Yeah.
as much as we do.
I got a Daniel Johnson piece.
Daniel
of-
Johnson. Yeah.
So you can have you guys can figure out who gets that. Whatever.
All right. Well, you know what? Maybe we'll just scrap over it or whatever.
You just get.
I kind of want the
house-
stapler now.
I want the house, Manolis.
You can have the
I
house.
want the
Patrick.
house.
Brian, talk to me about your music mentoring program. What? You've been doing this for quite some time now, and you've been helping different artists. Sort of just is it? I don't want to sort of bring everything back to golf, which is my favorite thing in the world. But the is it a little bit like being a golf coach, where you're sort of taking a look at their swing and then giving them pointers on how to improve that swing?
Yeah, there's a little bit of that, and sometimes it's a lot of it is being like a mental coach as well. There's
Right.
there's a lot of students that I have that really want to be on stage, but get in their own way, which I would assume, Pat and Manolis, you guys would know a lot about that with stand up and stand ups trying to get on stage. So really try and I'll do these 10-week programs with them, and I'll do songwriting, I'll do performance state of mind, and sort of run through the gamut with them. We'll do a lot of songwriting together so we can actually develop a lot of music for them. And the great thing with where I'm at Studio 410 is there's a beautiful studio like a rock's throw away, so that we can actually go in there and sort of hold their hand throughout the process. Some are obviously far along than others, but and then there's some that are just starting out. But it's really trying to just help them build the right habits and characteristics, because there's a lot of really talented people I've worked with, but they just don't have the actual habits and the character to follow through. And you guys know as well as I do, talent just isn't enough, so really trying to work with them on building those right habits. So we do a lot of goal setting off the bat, and try to hold them accountable and find ways on how they can measure their goals, so that they're not just just empty words. So
Right.
so I hold them accountable. We make sure that we try to meet these deadlines, have it be them trying to do their first show, or trying to write a certain amount of songs, or get into the studio, or whatever it may be.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
How would somebody watching today who thinks they maybe know somebody they could that might be interested in something like that? How would people get in touch with you with your music mentoring program?
I say the easiest way is they can go to the website beyondthemelody.ca,
Okay.
and they can email me there, or you can just DM me on Instagram. I'm pretty good at getting back to people there. So Brian Melo Music on Instagram, and they can contact me direct there.
Very cool, man. We got time for one more topic before we wrap up this edition of Friday at 420 with our guest, Brian Melo. And we're going to start. I don't know whose turn it is. I think Manolis, I think you're up to bat. And so we're going to go around the horn here. And this should be an easy one. You never know with Manolis.
I'll keep it tight.
What I want you to do, the topic is give me a first name that you wish you had.
Wish I had.
So you don't necessarily want to wish away the one you do have, but if you could pick, you're right, your parents named you. If you could pick a first name for yourself, what would that first
Huh.
Manolis
You know-
is pretty badass, man.
name? Manolis is a cool name, but see, I'm
Yeah.
sure there were times in his life when he was like going, why do I have to be the only person named Manolis?
I do like the idea. It's probably part of the reason I've never gotten married or have found anybody that ever loved me. But I think dude would have been cool. Just the word dude.
Dude.
Dude Zontanos.
Dudes on. I wouldn't be great if you named your like you've cursed him with either having a drug problem or definitely being cool.
Right.
Like,
You cursed him with
Like-
cool.
Big Lebowski.
yeah, like what do you mean your name is Dude? It's like if I met someone, it's like your legal name is Dude. It's like yeah, it's like I want to meet your dad right now, right? Because I know he's got hash in his pockets. This is gonna be amazing.
You got an immediate talking point with everybody you meet.
Yeah,
Right? And there's an immediate conversation starter, if you will.
I think I
but
might
I bet
change-
you the same with Manolis. When you get introduced to somebody, you say, my name is Manolis. Like, I mean, that's a lot of times that would be a conversation starter.
it definitely is like it is, but there's a lot of times where I'm just not up for it. You know what I mean? Like because it depends on the person. Like if the
And you've
pers-
talked about it forever. So
It's not even. It's not more like just the fucking explaining it. Like there's like, I've had people that I've had people tell me that they think I'm lying. Like it's like that's not your name. I remember I met this dude one time. He told me it's like, oh my, I met him and I didn't remember meeting. I guess I knew him for like I met him 2 years ago or 5 years ago. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe it's you. I'm like, what? What do you mean? It's like I met you like 3 or 4 years ago, and I loved your name so much. Every time I met a chick that I was trying to like get
Come
with or
on.
whatever, I just told them my name was Manolis, so I didn't have to worry about like them finding me afterwards. He told me
What?
this. Yeah, like he was using me as a like in case like it didn't work out. Like he was just trying to have one night stands, and if this
Wow.
chick was trying to find him, he'd be like, this
you,
guy
you
just.
run into the most interesting people, Manolis.
I'm like, couldn't believe he was telling me a story. I was like, "Are you serious?"
Patrick Coppolino, give me a first name. If yours wasn't
Mm-hmm.
Patrick, what would you have picked for yourself?
Well, yeah, I was named after Patrick Swayze, so a name after someone my mom didn't want to fuck would be nice. But
The word's
I don't,
bang.
I've always wanted like just a really Italian name because my name's Patrick Coppolino, everyone's like, oh, you're half Irish and half Italian.
Right,
Like they
right.
just
They
assume
just say it.
because of my complexion and stuff too, I guess. but I got cousins that are named like Paolo and Alessandro and like I'd rather have a more Italian name. I don't know, like Giuseppe or Giovanni or like from The Sopranos, like Furio or something.
You would be an excellent Giuseppe, and that had a special.
Oh, yeah,
that,
yeah.
hat-
Mustache?
Giuseppe.
It looks like Mario right now.
Yeah, my
Giuseppe
no-no's name was
Coppolino.
Giuseppe. I
Giuseppe
would do that.
Coppolino. I love it. Brian, I'm sure I don't have to tell you this. You can't swing a dead cat in this city without hitting a mellow. But you are still the only Brian Melo I've ever met. So, what first name would you have given yourself if not Brian?
Oh man, I don't know. I guess maybe being named after one of like my music heroes, like Hendrix, or
Oh, okay.
like Lennon, or something musical. You know, I
Lennon
don't know.
Mello would be a cool name.
Yeah. I know my brother, if his last kid, she was a girl, but if it was a boy, he wanted to name her Ziggy.
Oh,
like
right.
Ziggy
Okay.
Stardust.
Yeah,
I was like,
Nice.
Ziggy's kind of cool.
Yeah,
Ziggy's
He'd
awesome.
be hanging out with Dude for sure. Ziggy and Dude.
Yeah. Ziggy and Dude and
Yeah.
Giuseppe. What
It's
what
just-
a great group we've got. Listen,
about
don't
you,
forget,
Mike?
check out, please, before we go, you've got to check out Brian Melo's new podcast, podcast, but the new one with Manolis Zontanos. The podcast is called Beyond the Melody. Am I going to say, Brian, would it be correct to say it's available on your regular streaming services, or do we go to Beyond the Melody, your website, or?
regular services. Anywhere
Okay,
you,
all
enjoy
the
your
streaming
podcast.
services, check them out. Beyond the Melody, you can also check out previous editions of Friday at 420, including one with Brian Melo, where we had him in the radio studio, had a lot of fun. And this Thursday night, Brian is performing at Stonewalls in Hamilton. So Wednesday night, we've got amateur night at Levity. And then Thursday night, we got your Thursday night covered because we got Brian down at Stonewalls. We'd love to see you out there.
Oh, that's awesome. We'll probably come down. When?
Yeah,
what time
come
does
down,
it start?
I think 7:30.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it'd be great.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday. Yeah.
Thursday night, man. Stonewalls.
October
right there on
7th. Not
York
this
Boulevard.
Thursday. But yeah.
Oh,
Not
next
this.
Thursday.
Oh, next
Okay.
Thursday.
Next,
Okay.
next
cool.
Thursday. Next
Oh, a
Thursday.
week Thursday.
Yeah, October 7th.
I'll be at
Oh.
Zodiac on Saturday. This Saturday.
Zoetic. And you'll be
Oh,
at the
Zoetic.
The
Zodiac.
The Zodiac.
All right, I
Don't
honestly,
know sure where that thing
Actually,
is. But the
I actually
Zoetic is
thought
on
it-
Hamilton Mountain.
Zodiac. I thought it was called the Zodiac.
Yeah. You gotta
First
be
time
there
ever.
with, gonna be there with our buddy Jason Allen's gonna be on the bill.
Yeah.
Love me some Jason Allen. So it's gonna be a great show. So Wednesday night levity, Saturday night Manolis is at Zoetic. A week Thursday, Brian's at Stonewall's.
Yes.
And who is at levity this Saturday and Sunday?
This Friday,
Friday
and
and Saturday. Sorry.
We've got Gavin Stevens this weekend, and you've seen Gavin before, yeah?
Gavin's awesome.
Yeah.
Love me some Gavin Stevens. Very
Yeah, so
funny
that'll
dude,
be
right?
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then amateur night Wednesday, and Trivia next Monday as well. We did our first one since the pandemic this at the beginning of September, and it was awesome. It was full
Excellent.
crowd. It was cool. Yeah.
For all of the event details, things happening at Levity, go to levitycomedyclub.com and get your tickets in advance because we're still on limited numbers of people allowed in the venue. So make sure you get your tickets in advance if you want to see one of those shows. Brian, continued success, my friend. We hope to have you back on again real soon.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Manolis, you got anything you want to say?
Yeah, I was just wondering, like, normally I thought promote other venues or whatever, but Brian, would you be able, like, honestly, we would love to have you back, like, maybe in a couple months. I'd love having you. You're just a lot of fun. So
Oh, you guys too, man.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. Let me know, man. Let me know.
Okay.
Yeah, anytime.
All right, cool. I'd love to have you on more regular because you're just, it's a good time, man.
Yeah, for sure,
Okay,
man.
That's
No.
all I gotta say.
That's all you got.
Thanks, buddy.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
What
it.
do you want
Good
to?
job.
I
No,
love.
good job.
I love you, Mike.
really good job.
If
I
you
love
give me
you,
the
Mike.
stapler, Manolis, if you give me the stapler, then we can talk, right?
Okay. Well, you're
That
not.
was already been promised, dude.
I
You gotta
know.
talk to Mace, dude.
No, I'll take the records. I'll take the records.
You can have my record.
Last words, Patrick.
Uh,
Nothing. You got nothing. All
Nothing.
right. That's
Follow
it,
me on
everybody.
Twitch.
Thank you so much for checking out Friday at 4:20 on Tuesday at 4:40. We love it that you found us on Facebook Live, and thank you for coming back. Please don't forget to check out our previous episodes. Check out Brian's podcast, and until we get a chance to talk to you again in 7 days, have an awesome week.
Woo!
See you guys.